What is going on? We're talking about Bradley Beal and how his contract is the worst in basketball. Now you might be saying, we got Westbrook's contract. We got Porzingis. People would argue is one of the worst. Or Davis Bertans, who's been absolutely a stinker since signing that contract with the Wizards, which makes sense why the Wizards are signing another really bad contract. They are known for this. In the end of the day, the argument for those guys is they are on winning teams outside of Porzingis, but I'll get into Porzingis why he's not worse than Bradley Beal at some point. My opinion, Westbrook has been performing well and playing something Bradley Beal hasn't done this year. Bradley Beal has missed 9 games. 9 already. We've only played 27. And he's going to be out for several more weeks. So it's going to be more than that. It's probably going to be about 20-ish games that he will miss already in the season. It's maddening. So you make the argument that, Westbrook's contract bad. He's coming off the bench, all this stuff. He's playing, and he's playing well. Then you talk about Davis Bertans. Well, that was really just to get Spencer Dinwiddie, who has played decent for the Mavericks. They needed to move off of Porzingis. They brought in Bertans and Dinwiddie to help out Luka. It was a bad contract for bad contracts. It's a trade-off. I don't really think that's the worst. I mean, he's basically useless, so it's pretty bad. So I could see you saying it's the worst, because it probably is up there on that list of being one of the worst contracts in basketball. But I still think that Bradley Beal's is one of the worst contracts. The Wizards this offseason signed Bradley Beal to a 5-year Supermax contract worth $251 million. This year we are paying him $46 million-ish, and he's hardly played. I mean, he's played 18 games, so it's not like he hardly played, but it hasn't been great. We just chucked all this money at him, and we are still losing. I mean, we are sitting 5 games under 500, paying a man that type of money. I don't personally think an NBA team should give somebody a massive contract like that unless they're going to take that step forward. Unless it's a guy that's going to carry him to the playoffs. Because, let's be real here. What has the Wizards now done? They put him into another crappy contract situation. This is the 3rd time. We had Bertans that I talked about earlier, John Wall, and now Bradley Beal. Bradley is just the new John Wall. I mean, it's just that true. It's going to be an unmovable contract. He is a no-trades clause. So the only way to trade him is if you trade him to somebody he wants to go to. So now you put yourself in an even worse situation. And you guys might be like, well, his stats aren't that bad. But, I mean, about 23 points with about 5.5 assists, about 4 rebounds. He's not great for a guy on that type of contract. I mean, Porzingis is making crazy money, and he's averaging more rebounds, and he's shooting a decent efficiency and has played all but 1 game. That's my argument. I don't think Porzingis is that bad of a contract right now. I like the Porzingis contract on the Wizards. I think, honestly, we should have let Beal walk or sign and trade him and kept Porzingis and Kuzma as the big 2 because those guys are guys we can rebuild around. Beal is old. Those guys are still kind of young. Those guys could have been the future, but now we're probably going to have to let Kuzma walk in the free agency because he's having a fantastic season, so he'll need a decent contract. I don't think we can afford to pay him. We're not good enough to make the playoffs, so if we do pay Kuzma, then we're just destined to be mediocre as can be for the next couple seasons because we signed Beal to this insane contract. That's why it's the worst in basketball. Because if we didn't sign him to a contract like this, we would not be in a situation where we would have to decide between him or Kuz. I mean, I guess we're not deciding because we can't sign Kuz. I mean, maybe if he doesn't want anything absolutely insane, but I digress. But, that's the thing, he's 29, too. Bradley Beal's 29. We got him 5 more years. That's 34. He hasn't played. He played full seasons all the time. And in the last 5 seasons, he hasn't even came close to playing a full season. He's hardly gone past half a season. The first 2, he played 57 and 60. Then he dropped down to 40. And right now he's at 18. already missed 9, probably about 10 more, I would imagine, with this leg injury. We'll see how many he misses at that point. But it's showing he can't stay healthy. He's not good enough to do it on his own. And the Wizards aren't that good. And they don't draft well. I mean, it's proven that they haven't drafted well. Since their last 4 draft picks, all are mediocre as can be. Danny, I think, is a massive bust. Like, I mean, he's averaging the same amount of points as some no-name free agent coming off the bench. Rui's been decent, but he's now hurt, you know. I mean, he's had mental issues in the past, so it's hard to really judge him. Kispert, not that great. He has flashes, but as a guy who's kind of like a spot-up shooter, he's not the best at spot-up shooting, which is nuts. I mean, we're paying these guys psycho money to be great at something, and we drafted these guys all within lottery as picks. And then on top of that, then you got Jordan Davis, who has been in the G League. He's top 10. Like, we drafted him at 10th, and he's in the G League. So you sit here and you really think about it. Why pay him? We're clearly not there to make that step. You didn't sign anybody else. So we're just going to run it back with Porzingis, Kuzma, those guys, and Beal, and just hope to make a run. I mean, you made some small, useless trades to get Monte Morris and Will Barton, who have been not great for us. I mean, honestly, it's nuts what they decided to do here. Why would you offer to bring in some guy who is old, aging, and is getting injured a bunch? Now, I still think he's got a potential to be a great player, but, I mean, I don't know if he was worth that type of contract. I mean, he's a legend for the Wizards, in my opinion. And it would be hard to watch him on a different team, kind of like it is for John Wall. But in the same sense, it's just the John Wall situation all over again. We paid him, and then he's just mediocre as can be. It's maddening that we keep doing this. So, I personally, I don't know what the Wizards are going to do. I think they're about to be mediocre for 5 more years unless we throw crazy money here, crazy money there. I don't see the owner going that nuts. And I think that this Bradley Beal will be just as bad as the John Wall signing was back in the day. It won't be as bad as what Davis Bertans has been, but it will be about the John Wall level, in my opinion. But if you guys enjoyed this video, thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe.